Hi and welcome to Tabletop Gaming. My name is Charlie and we are the home of Tabletop Gaming magazine, which talks all things board games, card games, miniatures games, RPGs and more. Today though, I'm here talking about a skirmish game. I'm talking about Star Wars Shatterpoint. Now, my big confession in the industry, probably one of many, is that I have never assembled a miniature. I've only ever painted one and it was under supervision, and I'm very excited to actually have my own skirmish game, my own set of miniatures, and to get playing. So I figured, let's assemble a miniature today. Let's see how it goes. I have various professionals on call who are very much like phone a friend. Something's gone wrong, help me. But we have two guides to work with, namely Atomic Mass Games, who published some very straightforward guides on how to assemble miniatures that potentially deceptively make it look very easy. And if that's not enough, one of our regular and most wonderful contributors, Rob Berman, has written us a how to assemble plastic miniatures guides. Between that on the what I need to do and the Star Wars Shatterpoint on the precisely which bits go where, I'm hoping this is going to be great. If it is dreadful, I want to know in the comments what I did wrong. If you have better tips for me, please let me know. But we're going to work through both guides and we can do this. We can do this. Step 1 in Rob Berman's set is to assemble your tools. I have failed at the first hurdle because I don't have a hobby craft knife thing, but what I do have is some army painter clippers, which I found in the drawer of my old colleague when Chris left. Thanks, Chris, for leaving these behind. This is very useful. And I purchased some extra thin cement, which I am told works perfectly for these kind of miniatures. There's another type of plastic that needs some super glue, but that's all detailed in the guide. This is what we're using for Star Wars Shatterpoint. I've also been told to grab some kitchen rolls, so I've got that too for any excess glue to make things nice and easy. And of course I have the sprues themselves. We're not doing terrain today, we're going to try and assemble Anakin Skywalker because why not go in at the deep end, right? Now, step 2 is to check what you've got and what you're looking for. So, according to the instructions on the Shatterpoint website, we are looking for an A01 style frame, which is going to be... Is it all of these? Yep, there's a head, there's a leg, there's a torso, there's some arms. Great. So, this little section here is my Anakin Skywalker. Oh, okay, so this guy can just live off camera for a moment while I deal with our questionable friend. Step 3 is to get cutting. This feels like I feel like I should be supervised by an adult is where I'm at. I feel like there should be someone here telling me, Charlotte, don't run with scissors. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so the tip is the flat edge has to go to the edge that you're cutting. Oh my god. I honestly feel like I'm going to cut his head off or something and it's going to be a problem. I mean, I appreciate his head is in a separate place, but... Oh my goodness. First cut, first cut. Ah! Okay, well that was also less squidging than I thought. That came way easier. And now we have his head. Bring me his head. Ha 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 ha. Okay, right. Don't lose him, don't lose him, don't lose him. Right, am I supposed to do these in an order? I mean, it does suggest starting with AO1 rather than AO whatever, but I did not do that, and we move with the decisions we've made. Okay, so let's do this one. Woo. I genuinely thought, because these are quite robust, that I would need a lot more oomph to be able to get them off, and they actually come away quite easily, which is... There'll be miniatures, people who assemble miniatures regularly who'll be looking at this being like, duh, and I'll be like, oh no, I had no idea. But these are the sort of things that unless you know, when you're used to it, these things are absolutely normal. When you're not used to it, these things are very surprising. Oh, and that one just fell off. Do I need to snip better? I'm cautious that because I don't have the hobby knife to like clean them up, that there might be a couple that have some more rough edges than what I'd hoped for. But at the same time, they come away quite cleanly. Although, oh my goodness, okay, so we're doing the lightsaber, and I don't like how... Did I break the lightsaber? Did I break the lightsaber? No, I didn't. Yeah. Okay, two more pieces, two more pieces. There is an outstretched hand. What? That's a bit trickier, I'll give that. And then, oh no, I need that to be flat edge amongst where you're going to snip. It's going to go here. Ah, yes. Last one. Do you know what? I thought I wouldn't have much time to do this. And actually, this has been quite a snippy quick process. She says it could all fall apart momentarily. I mean, there we go though. Lots of tiny little niggly bits that are going to make up Darth Vader. So, next thing on the list was to do a dry assembly to make sure they all fit together as you would expect and you know what's going where. So, the Shatterpoint guide tells me, oh, it actually fits together. Also didn't know that. So there is like the two slot into one piece. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. What am I supposed to do next? So we do the torso and then we do the legs together. Where is this? Oh, I see. I had the stance the wrong way around. I thought he was in like a power stance and he was in more like a sideways squidge. That's not going to stay together because they're not glued, but oh my goodness, can you imagine what I'm going to be like with glue? This is so fiddly. Do you know what? Also in Chris's desk when he left was some like army painter tweezer style things and I was like, huh, I don't need those. I kind of get why now. I am too heavy-handed for this. How do people do this easily? Okay. This is going to go... Well, it's not going to go into here, apparently. Okay, so what I'm doing is, note to self, I'm going to glue the bottom half first so that it's one unit and then attach that to the top half. Oh, or just try not to do it all in one go. Woo! Okay, so I appreciate that they go together. I just can't do it manually at the moment. Which is just what you need. And then... Are you going in that? Oh no, the arm doesn't go that way round. That's not good. Ooh. That way? Okay, so we've got one arm out to the left. We've got a lightsaber up to the right. Okay, that will go in there. It has just fallen off, but it will go in there. And then we stick your boy's head on. And then he's looking at his lightsaber, which does not go behind him. What have I done here? Oh, this goes here. There we go. Okay, so we're in fighting stance. Okay. I mean, his head's just fallen off again, but, you know, that's okay. We then just need... to put these in. Okay. My concern is the next stage because things start becoming permanent. Okay, so one of the top tips is to glue it to a base. Depending on the miniature you're building, it can be a good idea to glue it onto the base once the legs are attached. This will make it more stable. Do I put it on a base or not? I think we need a base. We need a base. We're going to do the base. Okay, I have some bases. The only thing I don't know is which one specifically goes with Anakin Skywalker. I mean, I'm just going to pick it. Like, the fact that this is existing is a miracle in itself. About that base. Right. It says to do the torso first and then do the legs. And I'm one to stick to instructions, but also if I'm going to do both of them, I'm going to do the legs first because then I can chuck them on the stand and then rest everything else in it. It's glue time. Let's have a moment. Oh, I mean, that's very pleasing. That is a very small nozzle, so it should be okay. Oh, it smells like nail varnish. That's not what I was expecting. Okay, so let's put some of this into here. I also don't know how much to use, so I'm just going to try and cover it and then treat it like nail varnish remover. Not nail varnish remover, like actual nail varnish, and just be like, right, quick, do your stuff fast. Because how quick does it dry? Nobody knows. Somebody knows. I don't know though. Okay, right. Step 1. Nearly there. I mean, how long do I hold this for? This is like, we cut to like 12 hours later and I'm still trying to hold it together. Okay, so it's been like 2 minutes and that's... I'm not going to do like a massive yank on it, but that's stuck. Let's follow Rob Berman's advice and stick to the status quo. No, we're gonna stick Anakin's little feet to the base plate. I don't think he needs to go in any particular direction. Whew. I don't know why that felt more terrifying. I think because he wobbled a little bit. Right. Whew. So I'm trying to hold him flat and he is not sticking at all. So did I not use it enough? Or am I being impatient? Or am I not flat? So many questions. Okay, we've not stuck in the slightest. Question is why. So let's do some more glue. Right. Okay. We're being more frugal with the... Not frugal, the other way. We're being more expensive with the glue. This is where we play like lift music. No idea if that's royalty free. We'll see how that goes. Right. Okay, that's stuck. Ah! Okay, we're making progress, people. So, in theory, if I stick these together, will they stick there? Ah! Okay, I spoke too soon. His legs were not stuck. Oh, it works. I was about to complain about how it all goes together, but it does indeed fit. It's almost like they planned it and are professionals. The question is, I guess, what and how many points do you glue these things on? Like, how much glue should I be using? And where should I apply the glue? Is it, like, everywhere that stuff's going to touch? Or is it just in the recess? I'm being quite generous now because I feel like I've been stung by the fact that his feet won't stick to the ground. But I was a bit more frugal with the legs, so maybe that was a mistake. Let's put these together. Ah! Because ultimately, while I hold this together, the guide says to put the legs together and to put the torso together and then assemble from there. So the fact that I did the legs first should be okay. Okay. Seemingly okay. Now, will this fit into here? Oh, yes! It fits! Time for more glue! I feel like if I spent an afternoon doing this with, like, the John Williams soundtrack for Star Wars, I would feel very boss by the end of it. I mean, there will be people who assemble these things regularly being like, she's using too much, she's gonna create an overspill and ruin everything. And I'm just like, oh, it sticks. One of the reasons why I was recommended Shatterpoint while I wait for this to dry is that these are bigger miniatures, so scale-wise they're a little bit more friendly to beginners because you're not quite so tiny, and equally that then also makes painting a little bit better because you're basing the painting off of a cartoon, which means you can be more sort of flourishing with the colours, I guess, which should make things, in theory, a little bit easier. Thus far, actually, it's been okay. I genuinely thought we wouldn't get this far and I would be deleting this video footage, but we're doing okay so far. Let's move on to the other side. Now, the one thing I wasn't confident on... Shall I do his head first? If I do his head first, then he's looking the right way, and then he can judge me when I do that wrong. Okay, he only fits in one way, which is great. If I fit, I sit. We are looking to the left, my friends. I can see why sticking him to the base would have been beneficial. I wish that had worked. Someone tell me in the comments why it didn't work. And then we will chuck in a load of glue into his neck. Oh no! Okay, so I got some on his front. But if I put the head in and then wipe it away, this is why Rob told us to have some bits to one side. Ha! Ha! Okay, that's there. Right, and then, do the arms only go in one way? It looks like it. Yes! One arm at a time, one arm. This is like 2 bits to do, and then I will try to stick him to the base again. And then we've assembled our first miniature! Thank you for coming along for the ride. Right, let's get there first though, Charlotte. Focus. Right. That fit in very nicely, that was very snug. And again, we wait, because this one does have gravity against it. It will fall out, I feel, if I let it go too quickly. But we'll give it a minute and then we'll do the other one. Do you know what? I think that was probably a 30 seconds to a minute, and actually, he seems okay. Last step. The very last step. Right, I went this way. With this... Oh! I went to use his head for leverage and was like, oh no, I've only just glued it! Don't hold it too tight. Ah! Okay. And then we're just going to hold this in place. Wait for this to be ready. First miniature. There he is! I did it! And you know what? It was really straightforward, which means all of the people that make or like put together miniatures frequently are going to be cursing me and saying, of course it's really easy, why did you make a whole video on it? But I do think it's something that feels very intimidating. Like, I had to buy stuff and I didn't know what I needed and whether this would be a straightforward process. I genuinely thought that this would be like a mess up video and I'd have to get advice and come back to it and do it a few times. To actually have created, I say created, they created, assembled a miniature relatively easily is, I'm very impressed, very pleased, and it speaks to everybody that has gone, yeah, it's easy. Okay, yeah, I'll admit it was all right. The very last thing I'm doing is trying to put it on the base. I have, instead of trying to hold it this time, I'm just letting gravity deal with it, and fingers crossed that will mean that it sticks, but we'll find out in 30 seconds to a minute. Nope. Okay, so the failure that we found here today was that it won't stick to the base. My inclination is to sort of scruff up the bottom of the base with a craft. I need to get a craft knife. It's scruff up the bottom of the base and scruff up the bottom of the feet, and so that they should stick together when there's more texture, because it feels very smooth on smooth. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments though, please, if you know already, or if you think I'm being silly or I've done something stupid that I should have thought of. But otherwise, I don't think that took me as nearly as long as I expected, and I do think it feels feasible to now build the rest of them. So stay tuned for me to build an army of Star Wars coolness, and I will keep you updated, and we will also have a look at some painting opportunities too. We've got some very exciting things coming up. We're looking at different types of paint, all pitched at beginners, because as you can tell, I don't know what I'm doing, but I would appreciate any advice you can send me, any information you can give me, and do you know what? I hope you have a great day. Now, I am not the miniatures expert, however, I do know a lot of miniatures experts, and I have learnt a lot very recently from our miniatures special. This is the bad boy in question. We have got Fallout on the front because there's a new Fallout skirmish game. Of course, if you've been watching the Netflix series, you want to be playing this too. And this has all sorts of information about different miniatures types and things to learn and things to try out. So if you're not an expert like me, there's plenty in there for you to learn. And if you are, there's plenty of new things to uncover as well. But this is Tabletop Gaming Magazine. So subscribe to this. I've got a link in the description for you. Subscribe to YouTube so that you can catch up with me on the painting and let me know in the comments your thoughts. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day and time and game, and I will hopefully see you next time.